good afternoon. Just had a chance to meet with a big group of U.S. troops and Panamanian troops. Man, I look out at our guys and gals in uniform. They're the absolute best on the planet. And I look at those Panamanian troops, and they're tough, too. And that partnership is an incredibly strong partnership. Over 100 years of U.S.-Panamanian partnership in this strategic key terrain. And that's why this is such a historic day. It truly is a historic day. Signed two historic documents with our friends and our allies here in Panama. One with the Minister of Security, a memorandum of understanding to make sure the U.S. troop presence with our partners jointly on a rotational basis grows here in Panama. At Fort Sherman, with a jungle school where we'll rotate troops through for it's the best jungle training in the world. A naval station, an air base. We are committed to the security partnership with our Panamanian friends. It's one that will grow here in Central America and throughout South America, because this part of the Western Hemisphere is critically important to the United States of America. So we're excited about that ongoing partnership and the increased security presence that'll be here with U.S. and Panamanian troops. And then we also signed with the Minister of Canal Affairs a framework for U.S. military and auxiliary ships to travel through the Panama Canal first and free. First and free. And we will continue to work through the exact details with them, but the framework is clear. That we will work inside their constitution, inside their Panama Canal Authority to make sure it's done legally and properly, and that neutrality is respected in that context. We appreciate all the work that went into that, and also the work that Secretary of State Rubio and his team did in laying the groundwork when we're here. We were here to help finish. I also want to thank President Molino, President of Panama. Man, he's a fierce defender of his country, and rightfully so, and a great friend of the United States, an ally, here to enhance that security relationship. At every turn, just like America, President Trump puts America first, fights for American interests. President Molino puts Panama first, fights for Panamanian interests, protects their sovereignty, and we certainly respect the sovereignty of the Panamanians and the Panama Canal. At the same time, we're working with them to ensure that we take back the canal from malign Chinese influence. Panamanians don't want that influence, neither do we. And that's important for their sovereignty. And we're excited to be partners with them. So President Trump has charted the course on renewing focus on keeping the canal free, in working with our partners. And these two documents, I think, create a historic baseline and send a clear message to the region and the communist Chinese that America will stand by our allies, keep key terrain free, so that our ships, our military vessels, our auxiliary vessels are free to traverse anytime they need for any contingency around the world. So it's been a wonderful visit. I want to thank President Molina, the Minister of Security as well, Panama Canal Authority, for the opportunity to work together. And we look forward to a great partnership going forward.
Have you spoken to President Trump yet?
That you wanted to on your trip?
Absolutely. This trip not only met but exceeded our expectations. Warm welcome from Panama, great partnership, spent a lot of time with their troops. I mean, I want to thank Panama for what they've done in the Darian Gap as well. Speaking of President Trump and his leadership, President Trump locked down the southern border. Part of the reason, he made the focus to ensure that we're getting 100% operational control on our southern border. Border security is national security. And Panama, President Molino has said, we want to help be a part of that. The Darian Gap, where so many of illegal migrants have been crossing, from this March to last March, migration is down 99%. There were under 200 total crossings of the Darian Gap in the month of March. That's the Panamanians taking seriously preventing drug trafficking, these gang and violent groups that traffic. They've been great partners, and we appreciate that. What was your question?
Have you managed to brief President Trump on your visit yet?
We've been in touch with President Trump. Obviously, he's the impetus for this. He put the spotlight on the importance of the Panama Canal, of securing it, of ensuring that Chinese influence does not exist here. They moved out of the Belt and Road Initiative. Panama did when Secretary Rubio came here. There's an audit that has exposed malign Chinese influence on ports that is hopefully bringing a new company in to control those. It increased defense posture with U.S. and Panamanian forces at Fort Sherman, which has not been occupied. Occupied is the wrong term, but there hasn't been U.S. troops there for 25 years. We're reestablishing a partnership with Panama for a jungle school to ensure American presence here. I was with sailors here, with Coast Guardsmen who are escorting ships through the Panama Canal. So he's the reason we're here, because of his leadership. We've been in touch with him and the team in the White House, but they created this opportunity. And the American people are very fortunate to have such a focused America First leader who puts our interests first, and then we work with our partners to secure it, no doubt.
Are you concerned about retaliation from China?
No. I'm not worried about retaliation from China. We will stand on our own merits. Peace through strength matters. We represent our interests. We put America first. President Trump is staring them down on trade. We will reestablish deterrence as well.
Could you update us on the strikes against the Houthis? How many strikes have there been in total? Who are the most senior targets that have been taken out to this point? And then a follow-up, if you don't mind.
The Houthi campaign has been devastatingly effective. It continues to be focused on establishing freedom of navigation. When the Houthis decide to not shoot at our ships and our assets, we'll step back. Iran's got a big part of that equation as well in sending that message. It has been devastatingly effective. Whether it's their troops, whether it's their leadership, whether it's their air defenses, their underground bunkers, their missiles, their drones. We are on all fronts, and as I mentioned in the Oval Office with President Trump, it's only going to get worse for him. We're only going to bring more heat. Our ability to get over the top and hunt is going to become only more dynamic. You will not hide from the United States of America when you're threatening our assets. The Houthis have seen that, and they're going to misrepresent everything, right? They're not going to admit the amount of their casualties or how much of their leadership structure has been decimated, but we know, and it has been, and we're not going to relent in that campaign.
Can you tell us how many strikes there have been, how much damage there has been?
I can't tell you how many strikes. We know precisely how many. The Houthis know every single night because they've been stronger and more unrelenting, but it will continue. They have a chance to off-ramp. They have a chance to let our ships transit. When they do, we will relent, but not until then. One more.
Yeah, are the B-2s and Diego Garcia also a message to Iran, or are those just for the campaign in Yemen?
We'll let them decide. It's a great asset that has been incredibly effective. I think sends a message to everybody. President Trump's been clear on that. Iran should not have a nuclear bomb, nuclear weapons. We very much hope the president is focused on doing that peacefully. That's very much what we would prefer as well. Our job at the Defense Department is to make sure we have all the assets available for any possible contingency, and that's what we'll continue to do. But the president is focused. There are negotiations ongoing. It's very much, as he's made clear, our preferred track. Our job is to devastate the Houthis and open up those shipping lanes, and we'll continue to do that. Thank you all for traveling with us on this trip. And again, we thank Panama for their leadership, and we look forward to working with them. Thank you. You got it.